most of her footage on the cutting room floor in the movie Is Paris Burning? I wonder how few of you will remember this marvelous screen siren, Alice Faye. Michael Caine's first trip to New York City. I had brought him from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where he filmed a movie called Hurry Sundown. You want to call it The Odd Couple or The Odd Triple? St. Joseph, Missouri's own Walter Cronkite. A fiddler on the roof, that's Herschel Bernardi. I treasure this as a historic photograph. Richard Rogers, his wife Dorothy, and Jimmy Hammerstein. The show was the stage world premiere of State Fair. What a dud. I schlepped to Hollywood to implore Rock Hudson's manager to allow him to appear at the Muni Opera in I Do, I Do with Carol Burnett. You know, it worked. Hello, Carol. Well, hello, Carol. The last photo taken of Joan Crawford and me. What a lady. One thing I learned from her, the fact that she had a long-time affair with Clark Gable. All the details. Leonard Bernstein became my consummate friend. The show was 2 by 2, and it starred Uncle Milty. I was racing to the rehearsal platform when he said, "Stop it. Better late Berger than the late Berger." The show was Mame, the incomparable Angela Lansbury. Sir Alec Guinness starred in The Fall of the Roman Empire, which fell historically at the DeMille Theater in New York. St. Louis's own Vincent Price in Oliver. Why is Ed Sullivan smiling? Kim Novak and her new husband, Richard Johnson, which lasted about 5 seconds. I didn't care for Hollywood in those days. You see, dinner was served at 5:30 in the evening, and they sat around quoting Variety. I found Hollywood extremely shallow, with the exception of some of the producers with whom I worked. My mentor was Otto Preminger. The best advice Otto Preminger ever gave me was punctuality. Never be late for anything. Opportunity only rises once. Red Skelton returned to the Muni Opera, where he performed during World War II in a show called Gentlemen Unafraid. Here's Sonny, where's Cher? The movie was Will Penny, an easily forgotten movie, but the star was Charlton Heston, who drove me crazy setting up tennis matches for him around the country. Actor turned U.S. Ambassador to Mexico, John Gavin and Carol Channing. Richard Rogers. You know, Ethel Merman began as a secretary in Astoria, New York. She used to write letters and send you the carbon copies. But one thing I'll never forget, her mentor was George Gershwin. She revealed to me that George Gershwin was a cross-dresser. One of the truly greats of entertainment, Pearlie May. Most of you would never guess who that lady is seated. She's none other than Gypsy Rose Lee. Yes, the original, who had a talk show in San Francisco. Goldie Hawn wouldn't even look at me. She won an Oscar for Elmer Gantry, Shirley Jones. I asked Yul Brynner if I needed a haircut. A photo and experience I'll treasure the rest of my life. Dorothy Lamour, St. Louis's own Betty Grable, and Chita Rivera in a review that we put on at the Muni Opera. And the woman seated, the last of the Red Hot Mamas, Sophie Tucker. I first met them weeks after they first met each other, Eddie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds. The gray-haired gentleman seated is William Castle, a producer in Hollywood, who asked me to read a script. He was going to invest in this movie. He vacillated. I read it and I came back to him. I said, "It's lousy." He went ahead with the movie and it was called Rosemary's Baby. Who knew? He's got a million of them, Jimmy Durante. Do you think Carol O'Connor is mugging for the cameraman? How many of you remember Engelbert Humperdinck? The British music hall Grand Dame, Beatrice Lilly, opening the Hollywood Pavilion at the New York World's Fair. I didn't particularly care for Hollywood. It was just, in those days, it was a bedroom community. I lived on Wilshire and Westwood, and in a $175 a month apartment, 5 rooms, which are now, the building has now become